Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energies for February 2021 for life path number 6. So before I get into the reading, I just want to mention this is, of course, a general reading. If you're interested in a personalized reading, then please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. All right, so February is a 7 universal energetic month. And so what that means is that collectively we may see a focus on specialization, solitude, self-analysis when it comes to goals, projects, and relationships. So again, you may find yourself kind of looking at more deeply your goals that you've set for yourself, the projects that you're currently working on, the relationships that you're currently in, and seeing, are they in alignment with where you want to move towards? Are they in alignment with your energy? And do they still resonate, right? Because this is going to be a time where you'll make adjustments if they don't. Health, such as body, mind, spirit, so really holistic health will be coming into to focus this month quite a bit. So again, just making sure that you feel balanced, body, mind, spirit. And if you don't, how to find your equilibrium. What does that even feel like for you? That's going to come into focus. Reflection and rest are going to come into focus as well. And so again, it's not so much about big action. It's not so much about constantly striving this month. It's really more about the softer side of things, and really like slowing down and immersing yourself in the stillness and finding your balance really when it comes to action versus stillness, right? Dreams will be coming in quite strongly for a lot of people, especially if you're, sensitive and aware of your dreams, or aware of how to kind of work with your dreams. And so be aware of those messages that are trying to come through. Keeping a dream journal at this time would be a great idea. Dreams are when, our subconscious, our higher consciousness, our ancestors, our spirit guides, that's like the playground for communication is through our dreams. And so oftentimes there's messages associated with them. And so it's really important to pay attention to those symbols or the context or whatever comes up for you during your dreams. And that includes daydreams. So just be aware of them this month especially. So let this 7 cycle work for you rather than trying to control or force things to happen. So if you find that you're working for this energy this month, you need to take it back a few notches. You need to kind of relax into it. Allow the cycle to work for you. So especially around business or external matters, so home and family, business, anything that's like taking a tremendous amount of your energy and you feel like you need to have some level of control over, or that you need to force things or continually strive towards, this is a time where it's like you need to kind of surrender and lean into this energy and allow it to work for you, in that, allow it to bring to you what wants to come in. So this could be a cycle where you just see things show up, you see people surface, you see your support team come to play. Business opportunities come up for you, new opportunities to make money. And it's not something where it's necessarily you have to force or you have to put a tremendous amount of effort into. It's like things just magically appear. You have to decide whether you say yes to them or not. And then, of course, you'll have effort to put in down the road. But at this time, it's more about receiving, which typically is difficult for 6s to do. I mean, it's difficult for all humans to receive. We've been conditioned to do otherwise. But especially for 6s, it's much more difficult for you when you're out of balance to be comfortable in receiving mode. And so I feel like that's going to come up quite a bit this month, especially for you all. This energy is more focused on self-work, integration, and specialization. So this is a great time to expand your mind and your expertise. So if there's something that you wanted to go back to school on or take more courses on, this would be a great time to do that. If it's an opportunity for a promotion and you could potentially learn more in that way, or whatever the case may be, but this is a great time for specialization. So really focusing your energy on those things that you want to see grow and flourish. If your energy is too scattered or your focus is too scattered, then it's really hard to bring things to life. It's really hard to bring those ideas to life, because your energy is just too scattered. So this is going to be a great time to rein that in and get some focus. So if I had to kind of think of a theme for this month, for this 7 energy, it would be quiet receptivity. And so again, coming in and sinking into the stillness and openly receiving what the universe wants to send you. And so again, that's going to be something where you all need to potentially work on, because again, that being in receiving mode, you guys are such givers. You all tend to give more than you receive. And so this is going to be a month, I think, where you're going to need to be open to that. And if you're not, or if you fight it, I think it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. So however that shows up, but that's the general theme. I pulled an animal spirit card to see the overall energy for 6s at this time, and you all got owl spirit. And I love owl spirit. He says, your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now. So pay close attention to signs and omens from them. And what I love about that is because the dream world is the place where ancestors will often come through. And so often what we dream about, sometimes, not always, but sometimes has ancestral links associated with them. And so again, pay attention to your dreams. And that's also daydreams. There's potentially going to be profound messages coming through at this time. And so pay attention to that, see what comes through for you, and what it means for you. Now, as we move into the month, I've broken it down into 4 weeks. And the first week is interesting. There's this energy around wanting to do something like go on a family vacation or start a family, maybe buy a new home, something to do with family or for yourself if you don't have like a family, spouse, children, that sort of thing. It could be about you. It could be about you wanting to do something for your extended family. But anyway, it's like this idea comes in for you and you really want to do it, but it comes back down to money and this fear of, well, I'm not financially ready to do that, or I can't afford to do that, or no, I better not be reckless with my money and I should save my money and I'm not going to do whatever this is. And it's interesting because the universe is actually giving you the green light to do whatever this is. It's like that rest and rejuvenation and that integration is part of doing things with those that we love, that doesn't take a lot of effort, that is joyful, that brings us joy. That is just as important as the other things that we put, bigger price tags on, and that we put bigger, that we allow to influence us more. And so it's kind of like sometimes we'll talk ourselves out of doing those things that bring us the most joy because they don't necessarily bring us the most profit, if that makes sense. Or, we don't justify spending our money on those things because we should be more responsible, or whatever the case may be. And what I'm really getting at this time is it is just as responsible to invest in yourself and your joy as it is to invest in your, retirement or whatever the case may be. So it's about finding that balance. But I'm really getting this sense of like, you're really wanting to do something that brings you a lot of joy or brings a lot of joy to your family, but feeling that fear around money. And so this comes back to, possibly getting your mindset looked at as far as like, take a closer look at your mindset around money, your relationship to money, that fear of lack, that poverty consciousness, whatever the case may be, because it is limiting you and it's hindering you from accepting and receiving your joy. And so again, it's like if you're looking to start a family, but you're like, okay, well, I better wait 5 years until I'm more financially ready. The problem with that is that life is constantly changing. We're always in flux. And so you don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. You may be more financially prepared now than you will be in 5 years to do it. So it's kind of like, don't let money or the energy of money dictate to you when you're allowed to experience joy. So what do you put the worthy price tag on? Is it like, okay, well, investing in my 401k is more important than taking a vacation with my family and experiencing those memories and that joy and that experience. you know, or am I going to just continue to let money control me? So there's really this push and this pull around money at this time. And obviously, if you have to survive. So if things are dire, then I'm not telling you to spend money and put yourself in a situation that's going to cause you harm or whatever. But I am saying if what's holding you back from doing the things that bring you joy is strictly fear around money, or fear around lack, or whatever the case may be, or not having enough in the future, then you need to take a closer look at that and stop depriving yourself of those moments and those experiences that could bring you profound joy and help you to really enjoy this experience of life. And then we move into the second week, and it looks like you've got a lot of choices to make, opportunities coming up. Some of them may feel a little bit, again, it's kind of that feeling of like choices between like obligation, choices between like, fun and joy and responsibility, or there could just be like a whole bunch of new opportunities that come up, and you need to kind of like, again, figure out what you want to focus your energy on, because you don't want to scatter your energy. And so there's this opportunity for, making some kind of very decisive decision around what it is that you want to focus your energy on, and not to shame yourself around whatever you decide. So it's kind of like allow yourself the freedom to make this decision based on how you feel, and then don't shame yourself for making that decision, right? So however that shows up, but it does kind of feel like a lot coming in, and you need to, instead of kind of like being like, well, I'm going to do all of it, I'm going to be that perfectionist and I'm going to do it all, instead of doing that, the call is really to focus on those things that have the greatest potential for you or have the greatest potential for your family. And then choose those instead of feeling like you have to do it all. And then don't feel shame for not choosing some of the other things, right? For focusing your energy. Because sometimes with 6 energy, if you're out of alignment, you can be that one who's trying to do it all be everything to everybody. And I feel like this is going to be an opportunity where it's like you have to set those healthy boundaries, you have to make those decisions, and somebody or something is going to be excluded for your own sanity. And there's no shame in that, where in the past you may have put a lot of shame on yourself for not being able to physically or mentally having the bandwidth to be able to do it all, because you're not meant to. But where you might have put the shame on yourself in the past, you're really being asked to turn a new leaf at this time, to have a new perspective, to, do things a little bit differently, and understand your own worth in knowing that it's okay to make the decisions that work best for you and to not shame yourself for that. Okay. So again, some more internal work coming in for you around the second week, where it's like, you may have some decisions to make, and there's going to potentially be some people that will be excluded from this decision. And don't let them shame you, and don't shame yourself around that. You're making the decision that works best for you in this moment, and that's to be respected by you and by others. Then we move into the third week. And let me back up for a second. So for the second week, what's interesting is I'm getting this energy around like you having the opportunity to break those generational, curses. I don't know, curses isn't the word, but that's what's coming up. It's kind of like those generational traumas that keep being replayed through the lineage. It's like you have an opportunity to break that cycle at this time. And what's interesting is because the ancestors are kind of coming in strongly at this time with owl spirit. So again, it's like you have an opportunity to put your foot down and be like, no, I'm not going to try to do everything for everybody at this time. I'm going to put my emotional and physical needs first, and then I will be able to better show up for those that I love. And so it's kind of like, instead of that feeling of like, I need to be everything for everybody, you're having a shift of energy where it's like, or you have the opportunity for a shift of energy where it's like, no, I need to really focus on where, I need to decide where I want to focus my energy and where my energy is best suited and where I can be the most productive and where I can bring the most to the table, and not have shame or judgment around that. So it's kind of like cut those generational traumas of the shame and the, whatever comes up for you. But anyway, all right, so then we move into the third week of February. And I do actually see, again, there's so much about receiving coming in this month for you all. But I do see some kind of new opportunity to maybe make money coming in, a new opportunity for a purchase of some sort. So maybe like buying a car or buying a house or land or something like that. Or getting the idea about it. So it may be that the idea is coming in for you. Like maybe you currently rent and you want to buy a house. And so you're getting the idea and you're starting to look at, the reality of that and how you can make that happen and that sort of thing. Or it could be that somebody is gifting you something. You have an idea and then somebody else has the means to make it happen. And so they're coming into you to help you. And so again, it comes back to receiving that help, receiving that wisdom from that other person, receiving those downloads from your higher consciousness of what it is that you want to do, and then trying to formulate a plan of how to make that happen. But I do see some receiving energy coming in. So it's like somebody coming in with some kind of offer for you. So it could be about a promotion. It could be about, I don't know, it just feels like you have some kind of an idea about something that you want to do, and then that resource comes in for you to be able to do it. But it's going to entail you receiving and graciously receiving, right, without shame. And so, but this could also just be like you having the inspiration, like, hey, you know what, I've had this car for 20 years and I want to upgrade. And so you decide to do that, and the opportunity comes in and you do it. So it's kind of like allowing your inspirations to lead your actions. So it's very inspired action. But yeah, so however that comes in, it is divinely guided. Yeah, and it could come in through dreams or whatever too. But this goes back to where it's like, don't let the money sort of completely dictate to you how you move forward on that inspiration or those ideas that come in for you. So all right, and then we move into the fourth week of February, and it is 100% about balancing the giving and the receiving. And so if this was for another life path number, I would say, it could really be either or, like maybe you're giving too much and now you need to receive, or maybe you're receiving too much and now you need to give. But for sixes, and this is kind of a blanket statement, but I don't mean to overgeneralize, but for a lot of sixes, unless you're really fully in alignment, which we move in and out of alignment our entire lives, but you have a tendency to overgive. You have a tendency to be the giver. And it's very sometimes difficult for you to receive without feeling like you need to do something to reciprocate or feeling shame or guilt around receiving. And so I feel like you're going to have an opportunity this last week to receive. I'm getting that really, really strongly. For some of you, it may be the opposite where, because we can always be in the opposite of our shadow when it comes to our life path number. So you might be somebody who is a constant receiver. Like you just constantly, you don't give a lot, you just receive a lot. And so this is going to be an energy or a challenge that may come up for you where you're going to be asked to balance that out. So if you're over giving, you're going to be asked to maybe over receive a little bit to kind of balance those energies and to find your equilibrium, and vice versa. And so again, it's kind of like, this is just an opportunity to, again, have that quiet receptivity. So allow the universe to bring to you, the fruits of your labors. Allow the universe to bring you the people that need to be in your life at this time. Or the opportunities that need to be in your life at this time. Allow the universe to bring in those beautiful, magical synchronicities that we don't really have an answer for, but that just occur sometimes. We don't always need to know the answer for everything. Sometimes we just need to trust in the mystery and enjoy the ride. And so I do feel like at this last week of the month, you're going to have an opportunity, and it may feel really uncomfortable for you, but you're meant to move through that uncomfortableness to find your comfort, to find your equilibrium in receiving. And so again, it's not something that needs to be forced. If something comes up for you and you're like, I really want to achieve this or accomplish this or obtain this, this is going to be a time where it's like, put the wish out there, put the intention out there, but allow the universe to bring it to you. Allow the external to bring it to you from within, right? Or, bring it to you. That goes back to that quiet receptivity where you're not forcing it, you're not trying to control it, you're allowing it to come to you. So put that in, like I said, put the intention out there, put the wish out there, and then allow it and just know it's coming and allow it to come in and openly receive it. Like, don't try to block it with, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this, or I didn't do enough to deserve this, or whatever the case may be. Quiet the mind and receive graciously. All right. So, powerful February for sixes. Going to be maybe uncomfortable if you're not used to receiving or open to receiving. Could be a little uncomfortable for you this month, but it's all helping you to get to a space of your own equilibrium. So, it's all working in your favor. Okay. All right. I hope it's a beautiful month. Take care. I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.